Writing should always be intentional. It should not be something that you're just throwing together and putting out there just because you wrote it in your schedule. So the other day, my sister and I were talking at our parents' dining room table where we gather to write a lot of times, and she was telling me how, she's like, you should make a video about this piece of writing advice that she's heard over and over and over again, and she's heard a lot of other people, a lot of other writers talk to her about it, like, oh, I've heard this a lot circulating, I'm trying to, blah, 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 do this. And that is, try to write every single day, and that will help you be a better writer. And I thought, wow, that's a great topic to open up, because I do not write every single day. And I'm a big believer in rejecting writing advice and not taking every piece of writing advice you get. Don't get me wrong, some advice can be very, very helpful if it's from someone you respect, someone who cares about your work, and someone who wants to see you succeed and who has an understanding of where you're trying to go and what you're trying to say. Cool, maybe what they're telling you has some truth to it. It has something you can take away from and use to make your work even better and help it flourish even more. That's awesome. And I definitely have people in my life like that, and I think you should too. But it's also important to realize you can't take every single piece of writing advice. I actually made a video about that. You can check that out up top. It's about how you can't really, everybody has a different opinion, and you can't take every single piece of writing advice, because you can constantly be changing and tailoring your novel to be something that suits everyone's opinion, and it's going to turn out to be a book that you don't even recognize anymore. So you really have to follow your own voice and follow your heart. But I think this piece of advice in particular is downright wrong. Why do I say that? I say that because there are lots of writers, even if you go back to the classics, if you watch biographies about people like Charles Dickens, Jane Austen, people like that who wrote fantastic literature that's completely timeless, has gone down through the ages and will continue to do so. They didn't write every single day. In fact, they spent a lot of time socializing and traveling and doing things that inspired them, or meeting people that gave them new and interesting ideas, things that helped them grow and develop as creators. I think it's really important to take time to fill your cup before you empty it out to someone else. As creatives, we're constantly giving, so it's important to take time and stay inspired so that you can continue to give. So writing every single day is 100% fine if you feel inspired to do so. There are days when I get up in the morning and I just don't feel like writing. I don't feel inspired to write. I don't feel in the mood to write. And I have to really pay attention to whether I'm muscling my way through and ending up writing something that I'm not going to be content with later, and wishing I had just waited until I felt moved to write that piece in a meaningful, inspired, what's the word I'm looking for? Intentional way. Writing should always be intentional. It should not be something that you're just throwing together and putting out there just because you wrote it in your schedule. I think it really depends a lot on what you want to get out of your writing for yourself and what you want your readers to get out of your writing. If you want your readers to be inspired by what you write, to be moved by what you write, you need to be inspired and moved when you're writing it. So if you don't feel that, if you're not feeling it, if you're having an off day, if you're having a day where you just feel like going and doing something else, or maybe you have a lot of other things going on, maybe that'd be good for you to actually take that time off and get inspired yourself, fill your own cup, take that time you need away from the laptop or the notebook. And that actually might help you write it, that scene, that chapter, that part of the book even better later on. So I think it's a huge myth that you need to, in order to be a better writer, one of the top things you should do is write every single day. That is something I've never followed and will never follow, because it's just not, never something I've felt moved to do. I'm on the brink of publishing my third novel, and at this point I've written like 10 or 11 manuscripts. I love writing. Writing is a massive part of my universe, but I don't feel the need to write every single day or else I don't feel like I'm a writer. It's important to not wrap up your identity so much in what you do. We're not machines, we're creators. And as creators, we should really gauge whether we're just muscling ourselves into working, producing. Maybe we need to take a step back and realize, hey, it's not necessarily the best time for me to be doing that right now. I don't really feel like it. We're not machines, we're creators. And I think that's where it can become really healthy to actually take a step back and realize, hey, you know what? Even if I don't write today, I'm still a writer. You are still a writer, and you're a writer because you actually are writing a story. And especially if you're writing a story and you're taking the time and not necessarily writing every day because your passion is to make it intentional, make it significant, make it something that impacts, that makes you an even better writer. Don't latch on to this advice of needing to write every day in order to be a good writer. If you're writing intentionally, that is what makes you a good writer. If you are impassioned to tell a story that's going to inspire someone, help someone, encourage someone, that is what makes you a good writer, not the actual action of writing every single day. And like I said, remember, a lot of the greats, a lot of the amazing authors that we look up to do not write every single day. I think that'd be an interesting survey someone needs to take of, like, maybe some authors that are well known, ask them, do you write every single day? And I think a lot of them would say, no, I also have other things going on in my life, and that is totally okay. Variety is good. Realizing that intention is a lot better than just cranking out the literature. So keep writing, my friend. Keep staying inspired, staying stoked, living stoked, and writing amped up awesome stories, but don't let it be at the cost of your sanity or just your quality of life. Enjoy your life and realize one of the biggest reasons you are here is to enjoy and feel fulfilled and just relish in this beautiful life that we've been given. On top of writing beautiful stories, let those things kind of work together, not against each other. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe because I post one every other Friday, typically about writing or staying inspired or something totally different, travel, all different kinds of stuff that I enjoy doing. If you want to see exclusive content, videos that I don't release anywhere else, as well as short stories every single month, and being a member of my private Facebook group, you can sign up for my Patreon. There's a link down in the description. There's lots of fun stuff going on there every single month. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it inspired you and gave you maybe something to think about, maybe uplifted you if you were feeling like, oh, I feel bummed that I'm not writing every single day. Just love yourself, love your story. Appreciate the fact that you're giving it your all. You're putting the work in, and you're not just writing for the sake of writing, you're writing with intention, and that is awesome. Stay awesome, my friend, and I will see you in the next video.